Welcome back to the Wizard Shop, and we've rescued yet another customer from the dooms of the dealership. This is a 2015 Porsche Panamera. Let's talk about this really sweet car. So this car was dropped off not too long ago. It has a little over 40,000 miles. It's outside of warranty, so warranty's not going to cover anything on this. But they brought this to a dealership that's local to them, and they got quoted because there was a warning light on the dash that the brake pad wear sensors had illuminated the warning because the pads were thin. The sensors had contacted the rotor. It's time for new pads. That's all that means. This is the same dealership they bought the car from. They brought it in to have a brake job done, and they figured it's going to be pads, maybe some rotors or something. They got a call, and they said, you need calipers, hoses, lines, rotors, pads, and a master cylinder. All these items, thousands of dollars. And the customer knew right away, he knew something's not right here. He said, no. He says, no, we're not going to do any of that. In fact, go ahead and give me my car back. I'm going to take it to the car wizard. So we got it in here, took a look at it. It truly just needed pads and rotors. That's it. The rotors were warped, and being that these are slotted rotors, you don't resurface them, you replace them. So rotors, pads, sensors, back in business for $1,700, a little under that, and an oil change, all included in that price. Way cheaper than what he was quoted. In fact, when we called the customer with the price of what it's going to cost to do all this, it was like, do it. That is way better. He says, I like those numbers. That is so much better than what I heard. He said, go for it. So we did. So let's go ahead and open the hood on this really sweet Porsche. Here we have a 3.6 V6. Not all Porsches have the V8 up front. This one is the direct injection 3.6. And really, if I had one of these cars, this is the way that I would have it. It has plenty of power, it's plenty fast, and look how easy it is to work on. You can get to everything on the front of the motor. You can almost stand in it. It's amazing. Plenty of room to work on this engine, and plenty of power. So there's really nothing wrong under here. We didn't do any work under here other than an oil change. We got that taken care of for the customer. But just wanted to show you guys how much room is in here. I was amazed. It's really sweet. Let's go ahead and take a peek around the car like we always do. This one is in really good shape, and it should be with only 40,000 miles on it. You can see the brand new slotted rotors. You can see them through the wheels there. No really scratches or dents or anything to speak of on the car. It's very nice. You can see the brakes back there as well, brand new. Jeremy Clarkson had a funny thing that he said about these Porsche Panameras. And he said that they looked like a dog that was pooping in your front yard. I don't know. I don't really see it, but I guess that's what he said. When he said that, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was pretty funny, but I don't know. I don't see it in the car. Anyways, we'll go ahead and go to this side. Everything's clean and good condition. It's actually a very nice car. When I went and road tested it after we're done, I was amazed. It rides so nice. It's got plenty of power. This would be how I would outfit a Porsche Panamera if I was going to get one, with the V6. No air suspension. It just has standard springs, and that's the way that I would go. Again, very nice car. We'll take a quick peek at the interior, and we'll get it on the lift. You can see it has over 40,000 miles, and there's all gauges in a row there. I really like the interior on the Panameras. I service a few of these for customers, and I've always admired the dash when I sit inside. It's really well designed, and it looks beautiful. The dash is in good shape. It has very comfortable seats. I like how the center console is up high. Everything's easy to push the buttons, easy to put it into gear. Everything's right there within hand's reach. Nice Corinthian leather seats. Perforated, very comfortable. Headliner's in good shape. It's got the sunroof. And even though it's a Porsche, you can carry your kids in it. As you can see, this one has a child seat in it, and they comfortably and happily carry their child around in a Porsche. really sweet car. Very nice interior, very nice car. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the lift. These cars that have air suspension, when you go to lift them, you have to do a procedure before you're allowed to lift it. Luckily, this one does not have air suspension, so I have no trouble just going ahead and lifting it. Let's go ahead and take a look under the car. Not much to see, Mrs. Wizard.
Nope, saw these plates from the top.
All smooth and aerodynamic. We don't need to really check the brakes because we just did them. They're all brand new. Check everything, make sure nothing's loose. Good to go. Nothing loose there. I just find it hard to believe that part of a brake job for when your brake pads have worn thin is replacing the entire caliper. Why would you do that? I mentioned that to Hoovie, this whole situation about this dealership that's out of town here. He was like, what? Why would you replace the master cylinder, the calipers, and all the... I don't know. That's just crazy to me. Anyways, we got this customer taken care of, and I'm really glad that we did. So here's our exhaust, and there's our transmission in the back. Very beefy, big transmission. Here's a cross member back here. Aluminum framework. There's our exhaust there. Really not much to see, guys. There's so much body shielding on the bottom. Here's our big beefy differential. We'll check the boots. CV boots look good. Sway bar links look good. I don't see any blowout on the shocks. I'll go over here. Sway bar links are good. No blowout on the shocks. Nothing loose there. CV boots look good. And more shielding. Shielding and shielding and more shielding. Well, that's pretty much it for the bottom, guys. There's not a lot to see. I'm really glad we got the brakes taken care of and we didn't have to empty the pocketbook. So let's get this thing on the ground. So here's our handy dandy TV cart that we always use. We have lots of these in the shop. Very cheap and very useful. We have the old pads and the old rotors on here. And you can see, here's one of the front pads. It's worn down the wear sensor all the way to the metal right there. That's how it knows to turn on the warning light on the dash. The light that came on based on this has nothing to do with brake calipers or master cylinders. It just says the pads are thin. That's it. So we got all new pads, all new sensors, and here's our old warped rotors. Like I said, you cannot resurface them because they are slotted. That will destroy the resurfacing machine.
So, Car Wizard, do they have any kind of a sensor that would check the master cylinder and the calipers and things like that? Would there be a light that would come on for those?
If you lost pressure, your brake light would come on. If like you had a brake line blow out, but that's not the light that was on. It was just brake wear, that's all it was. These are definitely one of the cars that have multiple different warnings. The things that could show up on your dash on any given day, there's a whole slew, a list. You really need to get your owner's manual out and educate yourself on your car, because this warning light came on if you were unsavvy about cars. This dealership could have really taken you to the cleaners. You'd have saw the warning and you'd be like, oh my God, that's true. I need my master cylinder replaced. I need my calipers replaced. Okay, go ahead and do it. This guy was smarter than that. He said, no, bro, we're not doing that. So, this is all solved. This car is actually done. It's ready to go. We're just waiting for the customer to pick it up. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. So I've seen several of these on the road. This is the Porsche Panamera. It's not an SUV. It's kind of not a car. It's kind of like a crossover, but basically it is a car. They're really cool cars. Like I said, I've serviced several of them. And I'm so happy we were able to take care of this for the customer. And they're excited too. They're like, wow, I feel like I got my money's worth here. So the customer definitely did the right thing when they got that crazy estimate and they gave us a call. This is happening more and more, guys. It's not just dealerships. It could be independent shops. There's other shops. I'm getting customers coming now from 2 and 3 and 4 states away, shipping their car here because they've had it. They've had enough of being robbed. And it's really sad. I've got to make money. I mark up my parts. I charge a certain amount of labor, and I don't care if you guys like it or not, but I'm not robbing people. What they almost had happen to them is robbing people. So, if you're curious what kind of tools we use in the shop, check my Amazon affiliates in the description below. There's all kinds of tools and things for sale there. We get a small cut, and I appreciate it. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, I really recommend you do that now. Many more cool projects to come. Thanks for watching.